What's up everyone, tomorrow big patch day in Lost Ark. We're getting the Spells in Spades update, which brings many interesting things, a couple of surprises as well, some changes to the game. Amongst them, which we're going to discuss in just a second, we're getting the Arcanist Advanced class. I'm pretty sure that the 5 of you who are looking forward to playing the Arcanist are super excited for it. I'm just joking, of course. I believe that the class is going to be more popular than the reputation that precedes its release here in the West. We're also getting the Valtan Inferno difficulty, which is pretty interesting. I have this feeling that in a few months from now, with new Legion raid content, people might actually be looking to recruit other players with the title or with the statue, right? Because in the West the mentality is a little bit different. I'm making a little bit of fun on the harsh requirements that people have in terms of LFG groups, right? We're also getting the challenge abyssal dungeons, which is pretty interesting because in the previous article that we discussed in my previous video, the previous official article, they didn't mention them specifically, and I thought they're gone from the radar, but it seems like they're still coming. They are a very good way of farming cards, right, or getting cards every week, which is super cool because, you know, right now we're starting to sort of wanna get that Light of Salvation set of cards, and you know, having more opportunities to farm sets of cards or card packs is a very cool thing. Other things, obviously, besides what we've already talked, are the festival and the water pop arena. The water pop arena is sort of like a fun event, a fun place where you can play mini games. There is an event starting every 2 hours there, and you also get obviously tokens that you can exchange in at an NPC for various rewards, including honing rewards, right? Now, speaking about honing, they are going to release the global honing buff, which I would like to tackle first. I think this is one of the surprises, at least for me, that they are releasing it. This is the thing that they sort of leaked before release. We had just a couple of hours before the actual release in February. I have a video about this, but right now it's private because they've removed that article just a couple of hours after releasing it. But we're getting basically a honing support in terms of tier 1, 2 and 3. Now tier 1 and 2 honing will have a 100% success rate from 1 all the way up to 15, so it's basically just having sort of the materials required and just clicking the hone button. On top of that, to make things easier also in terms of materials, they are also reducing the honing XP required by 20%. This is again from level 1 to level 15 on tier 1, and also from level 1 to level 15 on tier 2 gear as well. Very important to note is that starting with tomorrow, both tier 1 and tier 2 gear gives you double level ups whenever you hone, all the way to plus 11, which means in turn that with one click of the hone button, you're getting a plus 2 on your piece as opposed to the regular plus 1. This is obviously super cool. It cuts the amount of materials needed by a lot, and with 100% success rate all the way to plus 15, you're gonna get there in just a couple of clicks, right? And on top of that, the honing breakthrough cost is reduced by all of it, right, when you hone tier 1 and tier 2 and tier 1 gear as well. So super cool, and this applies to everyone, by the way. You don't have to have finished any story or have been an old player to do this. This is one of the ways where, for example, newer players have a much easier time getting past tier 1 and 2. Of course, at the same time, this is going to reduce the cost of the honing materials for tier 1 and 2 on the auction house, which is sort of also a good thing, since gold is priceless and you should sort of be just using it in tier 3 as opposed to spending tens of thousands to get past tier 1 and 2. So this is very nice. There is also, by the way, a tier 3 growth support, which is very interesting. This applies only to 1302 gear, so the gear that gets you to 1370 when you max it out at plus 15. That is the gear that's affected by this tier 3 growth support. Obviously, the basic success rate is increased by 20%, And on top of that, there is a flat 10% increase in the success rate for this particular item level bracket. Not to mention that the honing XP is reduced by 30%, breakthrough materials cost reduced by 50%, and also tier 3 honing cost decrease by 30% on gold and 50% on gear XP, which is super cool. So very many people will be much more able to reach 1370 at a much faster pace and just worry about what's coming after 1370. Other than that, we're getting new progression events, one of them being a Punica Power Pass and the other being a Hyper Express event that helps accelerate a character from item level 1302 or above all the way up to 1370. Now the Punica Power Pass is offered to players who have already finished Honorary Punican Quest. This is a purple quest that is the last quest in a series of purple quests, which starts with Berver's friend. This is something that you do in Punica. It's not hard at all. You just have to move left and right across Punica and talk to various NPCs there. Now the Super Express event is something that's going to give you goodies at various item levels, for example 1302, 1310, 1320 and every 10 levels until the item level 1370, which grants a particularly valuable reward. I cannot wait to see what a valuable reward we do have at 1370, because the last Super Express event was just absolutely glorious. If they could somehow top that one off, I would be really happy myself, but I highly doubt it. We're gonna see tomorrow, I guess, right? Your character that you apply to this Hyper Express event doesn't have to be 1302. He can be or she can be 1310, and you would still get the 1302 rewards and then the 1310, etc. So you get the drift. It just helps you get to 1370 much faster than you normally would. There is also the Mokoko challenge, which will replace the new player event, the welcome challenge that we currently still have active, well, for the rest of today at least. This Mokoko challenge gives you several things, but you need to be a new account, right, and or an old account that hasn't logged in the last 30 days, and afterwards you're going to get a buff. You deal 20% more damage, take 40% less. This only applies until one of your characters on that account reaches item level 1370, right? So they can help get new players all the way up to 1370 by helping them do more damage with lesser stats, for example, because not everyone wants to spend feons, 9 feons per purple accessory at item level 1325 just so they can have the perfect crit specialization build, right? So because of that, this is a fantastic buff. I'm very happy that this is here for the new players that will want to join us. The Mokoko challenge is a great replacement for the welcome challenge, simply because new players right now don't need to go through the same things as we did with the islands, with the shards, with the quest, etc. Because of the global honing buffs, which make tier 1 and tier 2 at 100% and cuts the cost of the materials by a lot. So new players right now can simply just do the towers, the tower for tier 1, tower for tier 2, and get almost all of the materials they need to hone through tier 1 and 2 like that, as opposed to just run around like we did on island. So this is a good replacement, and it also holds your hand sort of all the way up until 1370, which is pretty nice, yeah. And lastly, on the power pass and boosting note, starting with tomorrow, we're going to have the paid power passes available to us. I'm pretty sure that this is going to be sort of a controversial topic, at least maybe for the next couple of weeks, because maybe not everyone that plays Lost Ark in the West is already used to the fact that Lost Ark has these paid power passes available. So we're getting a power pass up to Punica, a paid power pass up to Punica. Unlike, for example, right now I'm on the Korean version, they also have the South Verne power pass, and the pricing for our power passes is going to be as such. We have the North Verne power pass for 1100 royal crystals, and then we have the next zone costing twice as much. So Rohendel costs 2200, and then Yorn 3300, Phaeton 4400, and finally a Punica power pass will cost 5500 royal crystals. 5500 royal crystals is the equivalent of $45 or 45 euros, and in my opinion it's a hefty price to pay to get one character to item level 1302 and have all of the story until Punica included finished for you, especially now with the global honing success rate increase. which helps you get through tier 1 and 2 content in just a matter of days. So you would be at the exact same point this Punica pass leaves you really fast. On top of that, and this is just me, I don't like story power passes anyway, because they finish the story for you, but they don't give you the roster XP for it, and there's a lot of roster XP to be earned, starting with Rohendel, Yorn, Phaeton, and then Punica. And I like to do that myself. It's 8 hours of playing through the story for all of these zones combined, and I think it's mega value for the long-term run, right? This is my opinion on the pricing here. However, for those of you who are wondering, I'm right now logged into my Korean, one of my Korean accounts, and they have very similar prices. You can cut 1-0 from each of these prices and you get the Western equivalent of the Korean Royal Crystal Exchange. Our Punica pass, the one we discussed with 5500 in their region, costs 5200, let's say it like that, but now it's on discount, that's why it's a little bit cheaper, right? So in that sense, sort of prices are the same or similar to the prices on the Korean version of Lost Ark. Very important to note is that unlike the Korean version of Lost Ark, it says here that players will be able to purchase these power passes, so plural, not just the Vern one, but power passes, even if they have not completed the in-game content on a previous character, right? As you can see right here, I am unable to purchase on this set of characters this power pass, the Punica one or the South Vern or whatever, simply because I haven't yet finished the main story in those regions. However, on our side of things, it seems that it's also going to be sort of a feature available to brand new players that just want to spend a little bit of money to sort of get all the way to the very beginning of tier 3 content. Just curious, what do you guys think about the prices for these power passes? Yeah, do you think they're okay, they're fair, they do save you some time, right, with the story, and also they save you a little bit of gold by passing you through tier 1 and 2, so there is a little bit of value, just not for me personally. I wouldn't buy one, but I'm curious to see what you guys think about it. Lastly, I would like to talk about the skins. I mean, glorious. This, I'm just gonna absolutely, this is the first thing I'm gonna do tomorrow after the maintenance. Cap one of these Elvis Sea Stars. There is also the new mount. This actually looks really cool in game. You should preview it before you buy it in case you're interested. Absolutely recommend you spending money on these things. These things are really cool, and they're really cool to have, at least for the future. Maybe who knows when they're gonna be next time in the cash shop, right? In terms of skins, I'm not actually seeing that skin, that 100% bikini skin. I really hope that's coming also, and they just maybe didn't want to just throw it on their main page here on their official website. Who knows? But I'm talking about this skin right here, this one. Then again, several are actually missing from our pictures here. I'm not seeing the full bathing suit, right? This one, and I'm not seeing the short jeans with the top. These two are also not present here, so maybe they just didn't want to crowd the website and they're gonna release them. Very excited myself for tomorrow. Please join me on Twitch. I'm streaming on Twitch, on twitch.tv/SaivoSan. I'm waiting for you there. If you have any questions, if you just want to chat, say hi. Very happy to talk to you, to play with you. I play every day with you guys. It's really cool. I'm very thankful to be there amongst you. And until my next video, I thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you really soon. Take care, have fun in Lost Ark, and stay safe.